Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Oversteer and Underdogs. I'm Dean. This is my buddy Rob.
What up?
And we got a little bit of a different episode going on today. We're going to be talking about some stuff outside of F1. Rob and I got to go to we went to an amazing event actually. Over at Thompson. We went to go see Lock City. Why don't you tell me a little bit about it, Rob? How you felt sitting right next to me?
Yeah, no, Lock City was great. It's always great. It is always a good time. They always put on a great experience. Lock City, it's a grassroots kind of drifting car community. They've been going, I think, since 2013. Thompson, they hit up Palmer every once in a while, but their main home track is Thompson, and it's a cool setup. It's awesome. One thing that we always say every single time is nothing compares to the nonstop action that we get to see at these events. Because it's literally like, I know if some of you've been following for a bit, you've possibly or hopefully have seen some of our posts that we've put out where we've clipped together some reels of some of the events, and it's literally just nonstop, car after car, multiple groups going out together. And in my opinion, and I know Dean, you even agreed with me yesterday on it, Formula Drift is cool to watch, but it doesn't compare to the nonstop action that these guys are putting down, because there's some dogs out there too. And how wild were some of the cars we saw this weekend?
Dude, we saw a Hellcat swap Terminator Mustang. Like,
dude, that was it. It
was
had
so
SRT
cool. So
on the
cool.
side. It was,
that
like,
thing was
no
wild.
way. And then literally it went by
amazing.
with the blower just screaming. It was awesome.
That thing was awesome.
And then
it was just a smoke machine.
Yeah, and then whatever that 240 was, that sounded like it had a regular motor and a demon, just an actual demon and entity inside of it trying to get out.
I gotta find whoever that was. I just want to know what the setup is.
Yeah,
because you could hear the exhaust, but then there was like this bellowy, like echoey noise I had with. I assume it was the intake. I want to know what setup that was, because that was a while. But either way, those two guys were absolutely throwing the cars around, and going back to the spectacle itself, we were talking about this the other day, but there's certain types of sports in general that are harder to watch than others. Baseball's America's pastime, but who actually sits down and watches an entire baseball game? Or who sits down and watches an entire Masters tournament for the most part? Nobody just sits and watches
from
it.
First tee to last ball in the hole. I want to know.
Yeah, and and what's wrong with you? But that's kind of how Formula D is for me. I don't know if it's the constant stoppage, how short the actual runs are.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't pinpoint exactly what it is. It's just a combo of all of it, I think. Or the lack of specification on the scoring system. Like, there's just so much with it that to me it's hard to follow, hard to watch. Now, when you go watch the highlights, you're like, oh yeah, this is awesome. You got two 1,500 horsepower cars just smoking the tire. Like, yeah, of course. That's going to be amazing all the time.
Because it's all clipped together.
But they don't tell you that it stops. Yeah, they don't tell you that every 30 seconds they stop.
Yeah.
Have to re-rack, which takes about 20 minutes, and go back to do it again. It's like,
yeah, and I think that's honestly that's the thing, because it's like I said with Thompson, it's every second, unless someone like spins out or wrecks or whatever it is, and they need to clean the track up.
Oh, yeah,
that's like the only break that we really get, or if they do a track change, because they'll change the course up every once in a while. But literally with Formula Drift, you have, like you said, 20 to 30 seconds of action, and then they have to drive back around, and then they have to restage to swap chase for lead car, and then they go and do another 20-30 second run, and then they sit for 5 minutes waiting for the judges to come up with the scores, and then they get the scores, they take off, and then we have another 5-minute wait until the next group is queued and ready to go, and you have to do it all over again. So every 10 minutes you're getting 2 minutes of action. That's it.
And it's not like, Thompson has, or I guess it's Lock City who coordinates it, but Lock City has such a perfect system down where they pull up, they send 5 cars out. As soon as those 5 cars are getting close to the end and there's a gap, they send the next 5. there is no stop. I think there was one point there might have been 8+ cars on the track
But yeah,
going
easily.
because they just there's no lapse in anything. It's perfectly coordinated, flows so nice. There's no like, oh man, this is a great time to go take a crap. There's none of that.
We
The
were
whole
even
time
we were
watching.
struggling. We were struggling. I was recording yesterday and I was like watching, I was taking video of this while I'm watching over here, jumping over. Like I didn't know what to look at
It's
because there was
insane.
someone throwing it
And like,
absolutely sideways
right.
every
And like,
time.
you tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. But this is my wild ass. I have zero idea about anything idea. I think it's a great. I think it's a great idea, of course. But some of these tracks, right? You go to they drift at Road Atlanta or Long Beach. These places that have series of corners that would be great to drift at in multiple locations, right? Or street courses and stuff that they go and they modify already. Why not? Why not set it up so they're like stages? Why not make this like Rally does, right? Rally, you go, you have a set stage, you complete your stage, you drive to the next section, and then you go again. Why can't they set up something like that so we can have constant action? So like, say you got Joe and John going on stage 1, then you got Jim and James going on stage 4, and just constant. And then when they loop back around for that second stint, they have, you can switch your chase and follow or whatever, what have you. I just feel like there has to be a better way to run these things. And I feel like these grassroots places, because I assume there's other grassroots places like Lock City
Yeah.
that have it figured out to this kind of system that just works. uh I don't know. It blows my mind. There's millions and millions and millions of dollars in this thing, driving cars worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we can't figure out a better system to get more views. You can't even get on a real TV network. You're on YouTube. And it's not because your sport's not awesome. It's the way it's coordinated.
Yeah, honestly, like so with your way that the courses would have to be identical because that's what they're scoring off of. They're scoring that you'd have to have two identical sections. So if they were to make it to where there was two exactly the same turn for turn setups as each other right next to each other to where you'd come out of the finals line up over here, it might save them a couple seconds, but still, like you'd be able to have these guys queued and it will be going
Yeah,
through. But that's not going
right.
to happen. They're
Even
not going to be able to do identical track
no,
setups.
but even if you say you ran, there's a stage, there's 5 stages. You run these 5 stages one way. One guy is in front. You go back, you switch them. You run the next one so that guy is now the follow. All 5. So you're still running all the identical stages in identical circumstance. You have that option to. There just has to be a way to make it flow better.
Yeah.
It's so hard to watch. It's so
Yeah.
hard to
I
watch.
don't, and
And these guys are
honestly,
talented. And I hate it.
yeah, and I unfortunately I don't think that, and it's the same thing though too. Like Lock City puts on the street competitions. It's the same setup. It's the same thing as
Yeah.
as Formula Drift. When you have a drift competition, no matter if it's a team's competition where you're running with 3 or 4 of your buddies and you're getting scored on how close you can keep proximity and how smooth your transitions can be, or if you're running one-on-one mano y mano when it comes to just regular like Formula Drift style, you're still going to have pauses because they still have to judge. Now, I think that the judging, those guys, I swear to God, they're taking a piss break while at the end of it each time because it takes them so long. Like, I get it. You need to look back at the footage, you need to score it properly. I understand. I feel like there should be a way to be able to expedite that shit to make that part
The
of it
whole thing
quicker.
needs to be. Let's start our own drift league. Let's start our own, and we're gonna come up with our own system. It's gonna be cool as shit.
Yeah, and then like with the scoring too, like you have there are so many things. Like you have proximity from from chase car to lead car. If the lead car pulls away, then they get scored higher. If the chase car keeps that proximity close without touching, they get scored higher. Now, and if you go into the turns and you have your turn boxes, if you're hitting those boxes and holding the angle, you'll see it too. Some people might be in the box barely, but they're not going to get scored the same as somebody like this sideways, because they're holding a harder
Of
lock
course,
with
yeah.
it. So it's like, I get it. They're going through turn by turn, run by run, making sure that they get it down. But it's like, damn, we've got all this AI tech. Like, why aren't we utilizing that? Why aren't we how come there's not a point system out there to be able to scan that and see who was able to hold those turns more? I don't know. Maybe we'll have that soon.
Yeah.
But then my next thought
Yeah.
is, if something does get quicker with Formula Drift, those events are going to be done in like an hour.
Yeah, we're gonna need to. They'll need to. Yeah, they're gonna need to add some more competitors or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're just. I feel like there needs to be a system. It's an underappreciated motorsport. I think it's very cool.
Yeah,
And like the
it's
drift
still
scene is
young.
cool. It's like the cool thing, right?
Formula
It
Drift is still
but it's like
very young in the motorsport world.
It is, but I feel like this is a very strong time for motorsport, for car culture. This is the time to explode.
Yeah.
And not just on clips. Clips are the death of car culture. It's just killing me.
But
it's the downfall of our society.
So one
these
thing,
like 20-second videos. It's insane.
One thing with Thompson too is that I love is like you got Clubhouse running at pretty much all times. You've either got your advanced group, you've got your intermediate, or you're a novice, and then you walk half a mile down the track and you've got skid pad running all day long nonstop with dudes and chicks trying to get out there to get as much track time to be able to move up through the rankings.
Yeah, they really maximize seat time for everybody, which is fantastic. And I mean, that's one thing about Lock City that I like more than a lot of places I've been to watch any kind of motorsport is they're so welcoming.
Absolutely.
You can go up like that. We saw a guy who had a very unique sounding Corvette.
So cool.
It was wild. He had this crazy header set up. It went from 8 to 4 to 1, or 8 to 4 to 1. So it was this strange like collection of collectors that made it sound like a flat plane V8. It sounded like a 458. Things sounded nuts. But it was strange because it was like at low RPM, it's that lopey Corvette sound. At high RPM, it screams like it's from Italy. It was strange. I couldn't figure it out at first. I know we both looked at each other like, is that swapped? Something's weird. I've never heard one sound like that.
That was like titanium exhaust. Like, I don't know. And then and like you said, like we walked up.
We could go up and talk to him.
Yeah,
we walked up. You ask him. When we went at the beginning of the year, we saw Ryan Turek, and you go up, you're looking at the car, and he's like, "Guys, get closer.
Yeah,
get closer to the car."
Everyone was like,
"Fine."
Like withheld. He's like, "Dude, I'm just a dude. Like, come over here."
Well, it's a welcoming, and props to him. That's him as a person, but that's what that community and that place brings. It brings that welcomeness for everybody, and I love that. I think it's great. You can go over, you talk to anybody there, whether they're a professional racer or they're a dude there in a Miata that barely made it. They don't care. They will talk to you.
And the other thing that is so cool, and like we've been talking about it already, is like, yeah, it's awesome. You've got like 20 when you're watching Formula Drift, you got like 20-25 cars out there. A lot of them are the same car, just with a different setup, or like even some of the same cars and same motors, just with more power.
Yeah.
But out here,
everything's an LS with a massive blower or a crazy boost, or a 2J with a shitload of boost.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
And then like at Thompson, though, you have, I'm not even kidding, there's at some of their bigger events, I've seen over 100 cars, because they're split up between drift pad and clubhouse, and they're all different. You've got 240s, you've got 180s, you've got GTRs sometimes, you've got BMW E36 E30s with 2JZ swaps.
We had
V8s. Like,
there was a WRX STI drifting.
Killing it too, honestly.
There's that dude, full body, Crown Vic. There's I like seeing the weird stuff. That Cougar was the coolest drift car I've ever seen.
We got the Trans Am drop top, like
like there's these awesome builds. The variety is what's really cool, and that's kind of how. And when I first saw drifting, that's how I remember it. You had everybody had these Japanese cars, right? You got your Corollas, you got your Supras, you got your what have you. Then you had Von Gittin that was like, check out this Mustang. And you had this other dude shows up, he's like, I got an El Camino, check this out. Like, that was the cool part. It's like, there's a Saturn Sky out there for a while, or a Scion TC. I'm like, these are cars that they're not made for this.
You wanna know what's crazy?
Cool.
about 2 or 3 FD events ago, there was a Sky. Someone was running a Sky. It was one of the lower level people. Someone was running a
I
Sky.
wonder if it's the old Falcon Tires Sky and they bought it. That's interesting. That was
Possibly.
such a cool car.
Yeah.
It was such a cool car.
Those used
It was
to
it was a
those in the
Saturn
Solstice.
Sky tube chassis.
Yeah, those in the
Yeah.
Solstice were pretty much like the Pontiac Solstice. Those things were dope.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were cool. I remember when those came out. Man, I feel old now. But
Yeah.
no, those things were awesome. I remember seeing that car like I don't know if you ever played it. I played it a lot. Dirt 3. Dirt 3 came out and they put FD cars in it for some reason, which didn't make sense to me, but it was cool. They had the Saturn Sky with a NASCAR V8 engine in it. It's a full tube chassis car. It's got a roll cage, but no roof because they're all convertibles. Like, it was just cool. That's wild. I didn't know that car is still running. I hope that's the same car because that's amazing.
Yeah, no, I could be completely wrong. I could have just been looking at, like you said, clips from way back when, but it looked like it was a whole hell of a lot newer. The quality was better than you'd think with a 10, 20-year-old quality video.
No, I'm gonna have to check it out because there was just that cool culture behind it of like, I'm gonna take this thing that's not meant to do this and it's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna build it. It's gonna happen. And that's what we get to see at Lock City is these cars that maybe weren't necessarily made to do this. There's somebody out there who has a Altezza sport wagon with a 3UZ swapped into it I thought it was an LS at first when I heard it. And then I found out it was not. It's a 3UZ Toyota engine. Crazy, super cool.
Yeah.
Love it. Just but it's a different build. Like, how often do you see a station wagon drifting? You know, they have that Volvo.
And
That Volvo was out there thrown around too.
How often do you see a Hellcat swapped Mustang? Like,
I feel like it's sacrilegious.
when I saw the SRT with the demon sticker on it, I was like, yeah, there's no way. There's no way.
I thought it was a meme. No, I thought it was like,
I
no
did
way.
too. And then I heard it and I was like, oh, that is a swap. That's a hell of a swap. And he was throwing it down.
The thing was
was full carbon front.
Oh, yeah.
It was disgusting.
I think it was nasty.
And on it,
cool.
you see this shit and it's just cool to see, like, with people. I mean, with the way that we're going to talk about it in a second, but the way that the culture is everywhere else, it's really refreshing to see a community like this. And you don't
Yes.
you even mentioned it to me yesterday. You're like, how come there's no cops waiting at this? Because no one's an asshole when they leave here. No one, they either get it out on the track or they just respect the area. Because at the end of the day, they're like, these are, when you leave that track, there's houses. There is literally houses right there.
It's a golf course.
And then you take a right and it's nothing but houses on a country road. Like, these are people's, like, living areas. And so, like, this is their home.
Yeah.
And so, like, and again, I think that Lock City just puts on such a good event that the drivers that are out there, they get it all out on the track. They're doing 20, 30 laps a day, if not more, of just nonstop to the floor. And they're having fun and they're getting it out. It's places like this that are helping keep the community going. They're helping keep up with, like, giving that area for people to release that.
Right. And it's not a secret that, you know, it's an issue. It's been an issue for a very long time, I feel. You know, racetracks being taken away, being shut down, people not wanting them there because they think it brings these terrible things. When in reality, it gives you an outlet to go and drive fast safely, or at least in a controlled environment where you're not going to hurt somebody who doesn't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And then you had a lot of these housing developers, as we've grown our population, all this stuff, started to build houses closer to racetracks and
these HOAs or like
whatever, what have you. Yeah. And they don't, you know, they let them in. The racetrack says, look, we're okay with you guys coming here. We do emit a lot of sound, FYI. And I guarantee you, they all say, yep, no, that's fine. No problem. And then you come in like 6 months later and after people are living there, like, we want this gone. We want to get rid of this. And those are taxpayers. Those are people that are paying more money into the community than that single racetrack is. So they shut it down. Which sucks. for people like me or you or our good friends, we don't have a place that's close. And especially, the closest track for me is Thompson. It's almost an hour away. Um, for you, you're lucky you live nice and close.
12
But
minutes. I
there's
love it.
people, yeah, but there's a healthy amount of people of a hike to get to them, and it's not worth it for them, or they don't want to do it. They don't want to spend the money after driving that far. Whatever it is, they don't want to deal with it, and that makes it really hard. And I think that's where we're going to run into our next topic here of stupid things happening on the street. And they're not even just on the street, they're at
Yeah.
freaking gas stations. They're happening in private parking lots.
They're
Like,
happening in four-way intersections.
yeah, that's I remember when that first started popping up on YouTube
I thought it was
and seeing it
AI. I thought it was a
happen.
joke.
I didn't even think it was fake. I was just like, this has to be an isolated incident. There's no way. Then it turns out this happens every weekend. It started on the West Coast. West Coast is where it started real big. These takeovers happen. They come out, they being a bunch of people with cars that are loud or whatever else, people that the
And some of these
regular
cars are
population
nice
typically doesn't like.
cars too. And I'm like, what are you
Dude,
doing?
they're beautiful cars. But they go out and they start doing burnouts, doing donuts, but they're doing it in the middle of a four-way, 4-lane intersection. Like, it blows my mind. And like I said, I thought it was fake. And they are 200, 300 cars deep on all four sides. It's just
And there's
like,
hundreds
I
of
don't know.
people
I don't know what
standing
drives you.
around. And yeah, and
It's the amount of people that get hit, the amount of people that get injured. I don't get it.
so back
It's insanity.
back in my day, I got in, like, I've always like loved cars. I've always loved racing and speed, like, as from being a kid all the way till now. And when I turned, it was the summer that I turned 18, I got my first Honda, and it was a 93 EG coupe, 5 speed, with a little D15 in it. And I had the biggest fart can on it that you could imagine. And I was the second loudest car in Columbus. And but we that was what I really like. That's when I got into what the car community was, because I grew, to this day, I still have people that I'm friends with from that time. And we obviously
Oh, yeah.
experienced some bad situations throughout it, put myself in some bad situations, but like at the end of the day, that's where I learned, like, I know how stupid this sounds, but like the cookout scenes in the Fast and Furious movies and like wrenching on cars together, like that was real. Like that was a real thing. And the car shows or the meetups that we used to do, they were we would leave from Columbus and drive up to Greenwood to go to Shoppers World, which was about a 30-45 minute drive depending on how fast you're going. Um and we would drive anywhere between like 8 to 15 cars deep to go and meet up with probably over 100 other people in Shoppers World. And it was every Friday, and sometime and every Friday and Saturday. We'd usually go up every Friday because the turnout was bigger. And we'd go up, you get there, and it was what a car meet should be. You pull into the parking lot, and it's funny, it's almost felt like high school. You saw all your cliques. You saw, I mean, we had everything from the import cars that would hang out in an area. You'd see all the V8s hanging out together. So you'd see your Mustangs and your Corvettes and your Camaros and all them together. And you even see your lifted trucks. Then you'd see a section of slam trucks. You'd see your crotch rockets. But 90% of the time we'd go there and you just pull in and you're walking around like you're at a car show. You're checking cars out. You're seeing
Mhm.
stuff you never seen before. You're making new friends. You're hanging out with people. And then, yeah, absolutely. We were 5 minutes from 465, which is one of the biggest highways from north to south. And we go jump on it and we would do our thing and we'd be there for hours, but we weren't causing anyone any issues. Even during Streetcar Takeover, when that first started being a thing, we would I remember this one like it was yesterday. one of the biggest ones that I went to, there was 4 corners, and there was a gas station on each corner, and each one of those gas stations served race fuel. So, obviously, with Streetcar Takeover, the cars were really doing damage. They're 500 plus on meth and race fuel, so they gotta be there. And I remember this cop comes up. We're all congregated at one gas station. Everyone's doing their wagers. Everyone's getting things. I'm gonna race you. I'm gonna race you. We're gonna do a dig at six or a pull at 60. We're gonna do a dig, whatever it is. The cop comes up and there's a video on YouTube somewhere still to this day. This was like 12 years ago. And he's like, "Hey guys, just want to come tell you guys to be safe tonight. Y'all stick out like a boner in sweatpants." He literally said that verbatim. And he's like, "We know how many of you are here. There's nothing we can do about this. All we ask is that you guys are safe, be mindful of the people around you, and come home tonight." That was it. Because at that point, the car culture wasn't what it is now. And we went out, we did our thing. No, there were no accidents. There was no people involved, like no innocent bystanders involved. Everybody went home fat, dumb, and happy, and were able to wake up the next day.
And probably not a single TikTok video recorded.
That was, I mean, well, yeah, there was no TikTok then, but it was just, I mean, there was YouTube videos for sure, but like it wasn't for clout. When these people
Right,
weren't
and that's
chasing
kinda
clout, they were just enjoying the car culture. They were enjoying the scene.
right. And that's I think it's almost it's an issue with just general society now. Like we feel the need to record everything, capture everything, take a picture of this, oh, repose it, take a picture of that again. We don't live organically. We don't like people don't live. I went to so many events growing up. I went to these. I used to host car meets here, called Nameless Car Meets, and it was me and like 15, 20 people. We'd all come. We'd hang out. It was the same cars every week. Every once in a while, we actually got a car club from Worcester to come out and hang out with us for a bit. We had some cool stuff. Like it was fun. We'd all show up to this parking lot. Everybody hangs out and looks at everybody's car that they just saw last week, and we all keep talking and hanging around. Like, but we're having fun, right? Like these are my friends now. Like I made some of my best friends. Most of these guys I still talk to and hang out with.
Yeah.
Uh, God, I don't know how many hours I spent wrenching, with my friend. He loves Volkswagens. Really loves all cars, but Volkswagens are his big deal. I don't do it. He's a little bit more inclined than I am mechanically. I'm not nearly as good as him, but I used to love like seeing his stuff, learning why he did it. Why'd you do that? How'd you do that? Can I help you do this? Oh, you're doing that. That's so cool. Like these were the relationships we built, but there was no recording. There was no recording. There wasn't a single video. I might have a picture, maybe. But that's how I went through life for the most part. Even like going to events with my dad, going to see Monster Jam, going to watch SeaCon, going to NASCAR, going to this, going to that. We didn't take a picture or video of everything. It just that's not how it was. Now I feel like you got things like the scene in Gatlinburg, right? For insanity. You are at a gas station
Absolute
that welcomes
mayhem.
you. They welcome you. They blocked off the area for you. They made exceptions for you. They wanted you to hang out and come spend money and post them. All this stuff. Great. And you have people who show up who want to have their 5 seconds of fame. They go and they do something stupid, which then incites other people to do the same thing, be stupid, try to record it, go viral. And it just turns into what happened, which is basically a full-blown riot.
Full riot.
I mean, there was people on the roof. There were people on the roof in the videos. Just the property damage, everything.
Dude, there were like
crap out
100
of these
cop
supercars.
cars. There were helicopters circling the area.
And it's just so uncalled for. Like you're not even getting in trouble for doing something fun. You're not getting in trouble because you drove too fast. You're not getting in trouble because you did a burnout. You're not getting in trouble because you're too loud. You're getting in trouble because you're just a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand that. There's no space for that in a culture that people already don't like.
Yeah.
I'm sure you, just like me, I've had neighbors that don't like me because my car's loud. I had my
Fortunately, no one
Veloster in,
said anything in the 2 years that I've had mine, and a cold start, I'll tell you
dude.
what, that thing
Lucky,
echoes off
yeah, it
the
is. It's
houses.
yeah, but I mean, I had I'd leave for work at 6 a.m. and I warm my car up. We're in New England. It's friggin' cold.
Cold as shit.
I'm gonna warm my car up, not because it's not even for the sympathy of the car. It's just because I don't want to be cold. In my car, I didn't think it was that loud, honestly. It made some noise, but it wasn't that loud. But I'd let it idle and people would complain. I get complaints at the house. I get complaints at the house. Driving around. Oh, it's too loud. That's the fun stuff to get in trouble for. I'm not getting arrested. I'm not getting my car impounded. I'm not hurting people. These people are just it's straight up malicious. Like
Malicious.
it's insanity. You know, you look back at I fear with that Gatlinburg show, it's gonna end up like H2O. I don't know how many people out there have
Yeah.
taken part or seen H2O. I grew up watching the videos of H2O, all the videos and stuff. One of my best friends, same thing all the time. We used to drool over them in high school at the lunch table. And you had these people that would start to show up to these things and they'd be doing burnouts down the boulevard, revving the crap out of their cars next to police, street racing, all this stuff in the middle of crowds. And it became such a big issue that the state, not even the town, because the town did it too, but the state of Maryland would step in and say, yeah, you're not allowed to do this anymore. In the first year, they actually turned off the show, which now Gatlinburg has said they're doing the same thing. um, they they had this group of these people who incited all these issues. They just went down. They showed up uh, when the show would be. Typically, they showed up and they just went down there and they did their same thing. And, I mean, there were hundreds, not if not thousands of cars at this, and the amount of impounds and cars are crushed, taken away, what have you, was enormous.
Yeah, and
Like
it's like
it
you
became
did
a
it to
joke.
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Like
No
you
sympathy.
incited it. You incited this. Like I want to feel bad. I feel bad for the car,
Yeah, that's
the
it.
thing that has no feelings. I don't feel bad for you. You as an owner screwed that up so bad. Well, we always talked about going down. He wanted to go down with me and his brother, and we never got to do that because of stuff like that. Like I don't know. That's just a
Yeah.
wild thing. It's leaked into so much, right? Like um, I know I'm droning on, but I went to Import Face Off a while ago too, a couple years ago, and I stopped going to the show because everything's about viral clips. It's not even like the people at the show; it's the shows themselves as well now, where it's like, okay, they have a two-step competition. My friend has it; he enters it. His car is louder than any car there, has a more rapid two-step than any car there. Guy pulls up in a Supra with a 2JZ. Cool, super cool, sounds awesome, amazing. But the two-step part of it wasn't as intense as his. Somehow that Supra now goes all the way to the end and wins the trophy because it's a Supra.
Yeah.
It it's all for the clip, it's all for clout, and nothing actually. I don't know. It drives me crazy because I love car culture, but I hate the current state.
Yeah. And again, yeah, we went to Import Alliance in Nashville every year, and that was always super cool to go to as well. Never a problem afterwards. Maybe a couple people caused some issues, maybe a couple people got pulled over and arrested.
There's always a couple.
There's always a few outliers, at least back then there was always a few. And it's the same thing too. Like these you It's not the same. It's not, and I get it. Like we can't be like these old people. Like, oh god, I hate these new crowd. But honestly, no. It's like I love the fact that more people are wanting to get in the cars. I just want you to do it
Absolutely.
properly.
Yeah,
And
I want you here.
yeah, and like
I want these people here.
getting like I still talk to like my I've still got a picture on my Instagram from my buddy Matt working on his I think he had a EK hatch, I think that's what it was, and it's literally a picture of him grinding down something in his engine bay. But I remember tin, like, I sat with him and a group of us, and we did I think it was a B16 swap in his Honda, and like a total in and out, swapped the motor in like 6 hours. And it was
That's awesome.
3 in the morning when we finished, but I just remember that because it was like we were all hanging out in the garage. We ordered food, we were drinking Coronas,
Yeah.
like, it just felt like we
Oh
were
yeah.
living that life,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
cool. And now it's like everyone's getting all their shit bought. They're not building anything except
Yep.
obviously like Manny, like he's doing his stuff proper.
Yeah. No,
He's doing it right. But
Kid's a
like
yeah. Kid's
so
a
many
wrench head.
people are just you
He's an
can
outlier. It's
you can
amazing.
go and buy a car that's already doing everything that you need it to do now, and you don't have to touch anything. And it's literally again, you're
Well,
putting
even
some body modifications on it, you're posting it on your
yeah,
Instagram, and you're calling it a day.
it's not a build. Like they're
It's
cars with no
not.
purpose, right? I don't know. Like you can do whatever you want style wise. I get it. It's fine. I don't care. I don't care if you like stance. Like at the end of the day, we all got to start somewhere. And you know, if you go to a dealership, you buy a car, you enjoy it, and you want to be a part of car culture, you want to come hang out, come do it, please do.
Be
I want as
respectful.
many people here as possible. We want it, but uh, it goes both ways, right? Like you're gonna have these kids that come in, they don't know nothing, and then you have the old heads that are gonna talk shit. They're gonna talk down to them. They're gonna make them feel like they don't belong, which is crappy. So it's like it's a fine line there, but just don't be stupid. That's
Yeah,
all.
that's it.
Don't be
Like,
stupid.
if you go and buy something from the dealership and you bring it to a meet and you're kind and courteous and you're wanting to learn about stuff and you're having fun and you're nice
Yeah.
to people,
How'd you do
awesome.
this? How'd you do that?
If you're coming to these meets and causing these issues that these takeovers are doing, get fucked.
Yeah, it just I don't know. There's no place for it.
None.
This is a community that's already hated by so many because of the perception, and you're just making it worse.
And
And it's all for these
we're just
stupid
gonna
viral
keep
videos.
losing tracks over your clout. We're gonna keep losing drag strips over your clout. We're gonna keep getting states
Yeah.
shutting down
You know,
really cool car meets because of
uh,
your clout.
like SEMA has they've been fighting the government for car modifications, right?
Yeah.
Like they want to take this away. They want to take car modification away. It's been a thing for a very long time. California is a state that is the most strict on these things. They take away a lot of stuff. You do know, you can't even buy when they still made them. They're no longer new, but you still can't buy it. A Camaro ZL1 in California,
Dude, you
in
can't even
registered in California.
drive your car if you don't there's I've seen clips and videos of
It's
people who are out
insane.
of state in California. They're
It's
driving through
insane.
just to go see a friend and coming back. They just dipped into the state. They get
Yep.
pulled over for emissions and they get a ticket and get threatened to get towed.
Yep.
Bro, I don't
Yeah,
live here.
there was a fairly viral clip a guy had on his dash cam. It was a gentleman who bought a brand new Elantra N. I had the Veloster N, so naturally I was like, "Oh, I gotta watch this." And he got pulled over for using the N mode, which just means the exhaust valves are wide open and the car's a little bit
It's like
more
sport mode
excited
or
to keep going.
sport plus. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it's the
yeah, yeah.
same thing.
Exactly, exactly. This is he got pulled over and told his car's too loud because it's backfiring, which is what it does. It does do that. It has an anti-lag system in it. Um, and he's telling the cop, yeah, no, this is factory. This is how I bought it. I got it from the dealership just like this. You can check, you can look at it. And they started reiterating to him that, yeah, well, you can actually only use this on a track if you're in California. And they made him take it back to the dealership and take the program out, was what the end of the story was. I don't know how that ended up going, what ended up happening, but that was how that whole story interaction went. That this is what you're going to have to do. But this is the reality of what they want to happen.
Yeah.
They want to take away. They don't want you to be able to put coilovers on your car. They don't want you to be able to modify your exhaust. They don't want you to be able to make anything. They don't want you to be able to take a former street vehicle and do anything with it. That's how it is. And
Unless
that's
it's
what they're
just
looking to do.
going to be hauled to and from the track, which is again
And
might
even that,
not be there soon.
and even then they don't want you to do that. It's I don't know, it's a problem. And these takeovers and everything else are making it worse.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Unfortunately, we're in a state that I mean there's so many cars out there on the road that I drive by that leave these
Oh
meets
yeah.
that are 10 times louder than my car, and I think that mine sometimes when I lay into it gets a little loud, or at startup it gets a little loud, and I still want to get a new exhaust and the catalyst or the No, the high flow catted
Wow.
downpipe.
No, we're legal here.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it legal. We want to make sure we keep missions. I don't need to get in any more trouble.
You
But
never.
yeah, but we don't want to. We don't want that to not be a thing anymore. And just please stop. I know you know, I mean, we don't have
I
many
know.
people watching us
No, it
right
doesn't
now.
matter.
If it gets in front of you somehow and you're one of those people, we don't hate you. We just hate what you do. And so
Yeah.
just
Uh,
please
the,
stop.
at the end of the day, it's like-minded people who enjoy this and do this the way that, we all get to enjoy it still and everything like that. If you see something, say something. It sounds stupid. I sound like a fucking
Are you TSA agent?
dare. I found like a dare parent, but I don't know. Just stop. I don't want to lose this. I enjoy
Yeah.
this. I want to continue to enjoy this. I don't want to go away.
And that's the thing
And
too,
it's
like
starting to.
the actual like motorsport series that are like really big in the US, like IMSA and like even just the GT World races that come here, they're bringing a lot of new crowds. So you got F1 that's coming through. I mean, NASCAR has been big and will stay big just because it's the good old Bubber
NASCAR.
races. But like if we do this, if we start seeing these like restrictions and these takeaways like California is doing, it's not going to be a very easy time for you to be able to get into any type of racing for the people who are wanting to do your basic track days. For the people, I mean, shit, I would even go as far as to say that people aren't going to even be allowed to do go-kart racing at that point because those things aren't
I
quiet.
know. Yeah. I know the way it's going. It's a can of worms.
Yeah.
It's a can of worms. It's not a good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough to watch. It's hard to when everything on my feed is somebody doing something stupid. Yeah,
All the skibbity
it
riz.
makes you feel like an old 6'7". It makes you feel like an old man. I feel like an old man. I'm 28. I shouldn't feel like an old man.
No, and yeah. So I mean that's our soapbox for this week was just stop doing that. Get off my lawn. Get off my lawn. But yeah, so we had fun, like I said, at Thompson. That was great. We've got 2 more events at least. I'm gonna have to check the date out because when you go on the Thompson schedule, it says it's Sunday the 23rd, not Saturday the 22nd, like Lock City's page says. So we'll check that out. We've got the last World Endurance Challenge Championship race in Bahrain next weekend on the 8th, so that'll wrap up that series. And then we're in Brazil next week, right? For Formula 1. That's next weekend, isn't it? Okay.
That's right.
We've got
It's supposed to
that.
rain.
It's supposed to rain. Fingers crossed. It's always a gnarly race when it rains. It's a great race when it doesn't, but
It is.
congrats on Leclerc and his lady getting engaged. That is awesome to see. Some what'd you say earlier?
This is happiest news he's received. Well, it should be the happiest news he's received all year. It might be the only happy news he's received, honestly.
All year as a
driving that
Ferrari
thing.
driver.
I didn't know Ferrari made tractors.
No. So yeah, that race will
Lawn
be
mowing
awesome to
services.
watch. Always is a good time. And then we've got F1 Arcade on Friday, which will be great.
I'm gonna win.
I need to register for that still.
I'm gonna put Rob in a wall to win if I have to.
Yeah, I'll brake check you. And so we've got that, and then we're trying to work out the kinks with recording like with OBS on like actual iRacing. I tried it out the other day and just didn't have the proper format, so I'm gonna try and redo that. And then I've got my new shifter and my handbrake coming in the next couple days, so that'll be a nice addition. We're gonna start. Deane was able to find us the Thompson actual drift layout. So
it's
we're
the
gonna
whole track.
I'm gonna be having fun with the road course.
I'm
gonna be having fun with the road course.
Yeah, I screwed around with it for a little bit last night, just like playing around with it on controller. Which, by the way, settle course on controller makes my hands hurt. It's really difficult. But no, it's awesome. super cool. I don't know who put it together. It is a it is advertised as Lock City Drift, so they must have had some uh assistance in it. But no, it's
Yeah.
wicked cool. It's got the whole setup. You got the oval, you got the road course. It even has the pits. The pits in the pit building are there. It's super
Oh,
cool.
that's so cool. So you can have like a whole Lock
Yeah.
City drift event. That would be so cool to
Oh yeah.
see it.
Yeah. The
Um,
skid pads there, like the whole deal's there. It's pretty amazing.
so yeah, we'll once that's together, we're gonna try and coordinate some days to jump on. Did a MX5 Cup last week, started P6, got second place. It was awesome jumping back in. It was the first time in like 3 months that I've been on if not longer, that I've been on iRacing. So it was cool to jump back in. There's a lot. The new interface is perfect. It doesn't
Oh, it
look
looked
like a
awesome.
kid's game anymore. It actually looks like
Looked like an ESPN broadcast.
yeah, it looks like a set of Corsa's like setups does. Like it looks really good. They did a good job on the updates since I've jumped on last. So gonna be getting some more of that out, and then yeah, other than that, we really don't have a I mean, actually, that's a pretty action-packed week. We got
That's
Friday.
that in itself is a whole lot.
Yeah, we've got sim racing, we got Friday F1 arcade, and then we've got the F1 race weekend and WEC 8 hour. I think it's 6 or 8 hours.
8 hours
I
of I think it's
think it's
8 hours
8
of
hours.
Bahrain.
So we'll have some
Bahrain.
great info to go over next weekend. Awesome. Well, I think that covers it for us. But as always, please make sure you check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok is blowing up. We're having such a good time with the interactions. X, and YouTube, Spotify is where you can hear us. And as always, make sure you keep the throttle down and the conversation wide open. We'll see you next time.